Good morning, I'm Pam Armstrong and welcome to the PC Pro Line, a program designed exclusively for you, the dealers. Now today is a very special day for Olivetti. It's the first time England, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, Holland, Austria, Belgium and Switzerland have been linked live by company broadcasting. We're going to hear about Olivetti Office's new professional PC range. Today will be your chance to talk to us in the studio about these new products. With me are Arnaldo Bonetti, Vice President, Corporate Marketing, Olivetti Office, and Ugo Carena, Vice President, Research and Development. Also here, someone that you probably know, Clive Caldwell, former editor of Which Computer and editor of Super Channel. Now, the computer world is changing dramatically daily. It's hard enough for the experts to keep up, but the user.
This is the PC market today. This is how customers and suppliers see it in the newspapers all over the world. A hardware and software war. A price war. But does this war really help the people who actually have to do the buying? Or are we rather confronted by a market which uses this war of numbers to camouflage confusion and pitfalls for the unwary end user? On the surface, it appears easy to choose a PC. We all know the established standards, compatibility with the most widely used operating systems, DOS, a color VGA video and an extended keyboard with 101 keys, the mouse. Once you've decided on the configuration which best meets your requirements, all you need to do is compare the available offers and make your choice. Or do you? Let's try picking out 5 of the most important PC brands and start our search. I would like a 386X, but with a speed of 20 megahertz. And with a 100 megabyte hard disk unit. No, perhaps an 80 megabyte hard disk unit would be better. Okay, so the hard disk unit is a problem. Let's take a look at the RAM first. I'd like a 3 megabyte RAM straight away for Windows 3.0, and so I've got some memory left to work with. As for the 3 megabyte memory, I can see I'll have to try with 1 or 2 megabytes. I'll buy a separate expansion board later. I'd like a color monitor to get the best out of Windows 3.0. With a graphic capacity of at least 640 rows by 480 columns, let's say VGA, but it must give me a high quality resolution. But really I'd need a cache memory to be able to work faster. And what if we look at prices? A real chaos. The connection between what you buy and the price you pay is a mystery. If we are looking for a precise configuration, the number of offers which exactly match our requirements gets very small. There are those who offer more than we need and those who offer less. We are constantly obliged to compare unlike objects. This disorientation increases when we look at the technical characteristics in even closer detail. The memory wait states, access times and hard disk data transfer times, the maximum RAM capacity installable on the motherboard. In other words, even 2 machines with apparently identical configurations prove to be radically different at the level of important technical features which can be anything but evident to the end user at first sight. So, all this adds up to higher costs and uncertainty about what one's really buying. Higher costs for the customer who, unable to make objective comparisons on the basis of his own ideal configuration, cannot benefit from the price war or from the savings generated by technological innovations. and higher costs for the dealers, who have to struggle to identify the right offer, put it all together, present a competitive price, all the while chasing to keep up with a market that is far from clear. Not
Mr. Bonetti, we were cut off in our prime there a bit. As we've seen on the film, it's a very confused market out there. How exactly is Olivetti Office going to respond?
With the integration of customer needs and technology. This means transferring to the end user the full cost benefit of the technology while minimizing the dealer investment and providing to the dealers the margin they need to keep their company in profit, and obviously Olivetti Office in profit as well. Completeness of the line, modularity and clarity, and above all, excellence of performance, as you would expect from a top PC maker, at prices that you would not expect from a branded company like Olivetti. These are the key ingredients of the Olivetti PC Pro line. Let's now prove that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bonetti. Well, let's hear about that. Here are those machines and how they're put together.
Small box and mini tower. These are the boxes in the new Olivetti PC Pro line. Olivetti design, styled and created as a product for the office. The small box and mini tower, however, are more than just a product line with a new and functional design. They are the fruit of an advanced technological concept with two clear objectives: miniaturization and modularity. The motherboards have been designed in such a way that their dimensions are considerably reduced. The 486 motherboard, for example, measures only 34 centimeters by 21.5. But there's more. The PC Pro motherboards also incorporate controllers for the video, hard disk, keyboard and mouse, ruling out the need for additional boards. The use of the room inside the box has been optimized so that there is no wasted space. The Olivetti PC Pro line has 6 different motherboards: 286 20 megahertz, 386 16 megahertz, 386 20 megahertz, 386 DX 33 megahertz, 486 33 megahertz, 486 SX, Furthermore, these 6 motherboards, all very small, have been designed so that they can be installed both in the small box and in the mini tower. The 2 boxes are in fact designed to take the same boards. The small box is equipped with 3 seats for magnetic peripherals, 2 3.5-inch ones and 1 5.25 inch. The small box also has 3 expansion slots. The mini tower has 5 seats for magnetic peripherals, 4 external and 1 internal. The mini tower also has 6 expansion slots. If more space is needed, it can be gained by transferring all the magnetic peripherals and additional boards directly from the small box to the mini tower without having to change or adapt to them. Five corner hard disks, 40 megabytes, 80 megabytes, 120 megabytes, 200 megabytes, and 510 megabytes. 5 different monitors, one 14-inch black and white flat screen, one 14-inch color VGA 0.39 dp, one 14-inch color VGA 0.28 dp, one 14-inch color Trinitron high resolution, one 19-inch multi-sync high resolution, the national keyboards, and the mouse add up to a picture of complete modularity for the Olivetti PC Pro line, a line which allows you to give the end user made-to-measure solutions. The small box and mini tower are not just one computer, but lots of different computers. As for the hardware, the solutions are the result of joint development with the most important companies specializing in the supply of components. Intel, Western Digital, Gibson Technologies. The video controllers for the 486 and 386SX boards, for example, produced in collaboration with Gibson Technologies and Western Digital, respectively, are miniaturized and integrated directly into the motherboard and give high-performance results. Other features are the exclusive property of Olivetti Research and covered by patents, amongst these the BIOS on all the products. And the HSM system, which handles the memory. On the 48633 and SX models, HSM gives performances equivalent to competitors with a second-level cache memory, so the PC Pro doesn't need one. Miniaturization, modularity, customized components, and advanced technology. Proprietary Olivetti solutions. But also an exclusive design and great attention to ergonomics. Functionality. And safety, guaranteed by the pairing of ABS Ravicral and a metallic shield, which optimizes the immunity of the system to electronic disturbances. Olivetti PC Pro line. Many computers in one to give configurations made to measure to the requirements of the end user.
Mr. Carrera, you were in charge of the whole project. Can you tell us something about the design approach you took with the new machines? Well, in the design of the PC Pro line, we followed the four strategic issues: the performances, miniaturization, modularity, and ergonomic design. Our main objective was not to make the good compromise between all these features, but was to optimize each of them. From the performance point of view, we approach the problem in a different way. On one side, we stabilize tight connection with the most important silicon vendor in order to use the latest, more up-to-date, more powerful components like video controllers, chipset, CPU. And on the other side, we try to design ourselves in our laboratories new system architecture that are fully patented.
Can you expand a little more what you mean by patents?
I can make an example related to the high-speed memory subsystem, where we can reach very fast access to the memory system, to all the memory system, either if it is 4 megabytes, like in the basic product, or it is 36 megabytes, when you have the maximum expansion, and giving to our customer a throughput equal to more sophisticated and more expensive solution.
But isn't high-speed memory already available on the market?
On the market today, some similar solution is available and is realized with what is called second-level cache. But with this solution, there is a limitation in the amount of memory addressed at the time, that is 128 usually, or 256, and this requires a very expensive solution. In our proprietary circuit, we have some component, but the cost of this component is almost negligible.
Mr. Carrena, just how much R&D has gone into the design of these new machines?
Many very knowledgeable engineers are with a lot of experience in system design, in custom component design, and in software design, where I remember that Olivetti is one of the few companies designing its own BIOS and drivers, had been involved in the design and testing of the PC Pro new product line in order to satisfy the most important market requirement, that is compatibility, time to market, and competitiveness.
Mr. Carrena, thanks very much. Mr. Bonetti, this new technology has allowed you to pass on cost benefits to your customers. Exactly how will they benefit? What can you promise?
Well, I promised at the beginning clarity, modularity, completeness. And I think we have proven that. And I promised excellence of performance at unexpected prices. Let's see this now. In the pyramid that you see on the left side, there is the structure of the PC market by technology as it was up to now. And it is immediately evident that excellence of performance, read 486 technology, was priced so high that only a few desperately needed it could afford it. We have decided to take a different approach and to squeeze the pyramid by two-step downs. How does it sound this? It means a PC Pro 486 33 MHz at a price positioned in the center of the price range of PC 386 DX machine paid today by the market. A PC Pro 486 SX positioned at the center of the price range of PC 386 DX 25 MHz paid today by the market. And then, as an entry level to the full 32-bit PC, a PC Pro 33 MHz positioned at the center of the price range of PC 386 DX 20 MHz paid today by the market. And then, below this, PC Pro S20 and PC Pro 16 position just in the center of the price range of each specific market segment. What does it mean, this? Is this a revolution or an evolution? Well, you can judge it one way or the other. For sure, this means to bring excellence of performance available to a large user base, and consequently to make the market potential much wider than it was before. In the same market segment where today the customer buys 386 DX33 or 25 MHz machine, we offer 486 technology, 33 MHz and 20 MHz as the 486 SX.
So how does the dealer take advantage of this product line?
We are giving to our dealers today a golden card. And this golden card has to be played well. We are aware of the impact that such a strategy will have on the market and on the competition. We have to take advantage of this unique momentum, which we know very well is not going to last forever. So we have to prepare ourselves in order to gain the maximum market share allowed by the product line and the strategy supporting it. For this reason, we have designed this today transmission as an announcement to our dealers and not as an announcement to the market, in order to provide them the facts and the tools on which base and plan their sales action for achieving the maximum impact on the market.
So, Mr. Minetti, what can we say about deliveries of the new machines?
The PC Pro SX16 and the PC Pro SX20 are already in full production. So the dealer can start immediately to push them in this wide market. The PC 486 33 MHz and the PC 486 SX will start to be delivered in Italy in June and in the other countries in July. The PC Pro 33 MHz will start to be delivered in August. In sufficient quantity for both the 486 SX and the 486 DX to allow the dealer to start immediately from June their sales activity and to make a major inroad on the market.
Mr. Minetti, how do you plan to support your dealers so they can attract new customers?
Once we will be in full production, and this will be starting from September of this year, and we will have put in place all the actions needed in order to have the maximum penetration into the market, we will support our dealers with strong advertising campaign aimed to pull as many customers as possible toward them.
You do have to start thinking big, don't you?
You are right. We have to start to think big and behave to become big. If we continue to behave in an inert way, then we will not capitalize on this great momentum that we have in front of us. I am very confident that we all want to win and to fight. And the experience that we already had with the PCS, that at its time revolutionized to a certain extent the home office PC market with the introduction of a serious PC at a price that nobody was expecting, has confirmed that we have this capability, and I'm sure that we will pursue it with all our energy and all our capabilities.
Mr. Bonetti, thank you very much. Now, if you have any questions that you'd like to put directly to Mr. Bonetti or Mr. Carena, you can phone in towards the end of the program in about 15 minutes' time and ask them personally yourself. But now, Vittorio Cassoni, Managing Director Olivetti, would like to talk to you.
Good morning. I am very glad to address the European partners of Olivetti office in this occasion that marks two important events. The first one has to do with a new way of communicating with you. We intend for this occasion to be the first of many. Communications through this media will be continuous and will become a precious tool to make you part of our organization. The second has to do with the positioning of Olivetti Office, your partner. When, over 2 years ago now, we decided to create Olivetti Office, our aim was to establish the European leading supplier of large volume products for both personal and professional use. Personal computers, obviously, were always meant to play a fundamental role in the fulfillment of that aim. The past couple of years were necessary to progressively identify Olivetti Office offer and its specific positioning. The PCS line was the first step, and a very successful one. I think you'll agree with me. The portable line, announced on the 28th of February in Berlin, was the second step. Today, we complete the process. Olivetti Office and you have a complete, probably the single most complete specific PC product range in the market today. But equally as important, if not more, is the decision relative to the positioning of the PC Pro line. Over the past several years, the most aggressive competitor on the PC market has been not Compaq, not IBM, but the aggregate that on the boring market share pie charts normally goes under the name of others. Over the past 5 years, the share of this competitor has gone from 20 to 50% in Europe. Well, let me tell you, that market belongs to us. It belongs to Olivetti Office, and it belongs to you. With the announcement of today, we make available world-class technology, and I think my colleague has spent enough words, and I hope convincing enough, on this topic, at extremely competitive prices, and with very remunerative margins for you. This is the sense of today's announcement, a clear strike at the single fastest growing segment of the PC market. Good selling.
Indeed, one of the main selling points of the range is the way in which it handles popular software packages. Mr. Appel, Director of System Marketing at Microsoft Europe, just exactly how does Microsoft Windows work with the new machines?
Flawless. It works perfectly. The PC Pro line has been certified by Microsoft for Windows, for LAN Manager, and of course for all the applications. But more than that, Windows and the graphical user interface has changed the market, and powerful machines, powerful 386, 486 machines have quickly become the standard, the mainstream PC. And so the PC Pro line, with its features, with its performance, with its power, fits right in and will ride on the wave of success of new graphical user software.
So, Mr. Apple, why do we need Windows now?
It will sell these machines. Windows 3 has been a phenomenal success. Over 4 million copies have sold since Windows was introduced about a year ago. Everything has to be in place for that sort of success to happen. The new, more powerful applications that users can utilize to integrate information better, to work in networks, the support infrastructure, and the machines that make the software work. But more than that, there is the need to integrate with the huge installed base of DOS machines and applications that has reached 60 million today. And there has to be a clear path towards a future that gives you what Microsoft calls in its strategy information at your fingertips. Ways to work with new kinds of information, ways to integrate information seamlessly across networks, multimedia enhancements to standard programs that allow the integration of sound, of video, of animation, and that simply make it easier to communicate, to sell, to integrate information in the way that users need to do today, and even more so in their future systems.
Thank you, Mr. Appel. Well, of course, multimedia plus DVI really exploits the true power of these new machines. Supported by all the major manufacturers, with DVI it will soon become possible to work on a number of new applications. These new applications are really applications like training and flight simulation, which wasn't practical really to do just a few years ago. DVI really is a glimpse of the future, a technology that previously required very powerful computers to be able to work properly. Now within our grasp is a new technology delivered to our desktop. Well, with me is Mr. Patrick Felizon, European Regional Manager for Intel. Mr. Felizon, Intel is constantly introducing more and more powerful chips onto the market. Why?
Well, first, the semiconductor technology of Intel allows to double the number of transistors on a single chip every 18 months. This means continuous increase in performances available to end users. As an example, the 486SX20 is 40% more performing than the 386DX33 when running 32-bit software. Secondly, and more important, this increased integration brings new possibilities of software, like graphic software. The DVI film just presented is a perfect example of what can be performed today. Thirdly, and more features with reduced cost of ownership enlarge the customer basis. And when used, and what was used to be a luxury in the past for a few will be now of common usage for a majority of PC end users. And let me point out that the strategic cooperation between Olivetti and Intel has allowed the most effective transfer of those benefits to the end users with the 386 and 486 PC Pro.
All right, so what does the future hold for this kind of chip technology?
Okay, three main trends will prevail: continuous integration, human interface easiness, and cost effectiveness. Integration will continue. Today, the Intel 486 is a 1 million transistor chip. By the year 2000, 50 to 100 million transistors will be integrated in one single chip. This will allow to combine many of the functions now on separate devices like CPU, video processing, image processing, as well as three-dimensional imaging. Human interface will become more and more easy, like voice recognition or handwriting recognition. Cost effectiveness will also make it affordable to a broader and broader base of end user for all those benefits. To summarize, future looks fascinating and promising.
Mr. Felizon, thank you very much. Now from SCO, we have Mr. Rundell, Marketing and Communications Manager. Now, Mr. Rundell's company has bestowed its seal of approval on this line of machines, and by doing that, they put themselves on the line. Mr. Rundell, why?
Well, as world leader in the PC Unix market, it's our business to provide open system software solutions for industry standard platforms. Now, open systems and standards are important to the customer because it protects their investment and it gives them a choice. It's also important to third-party vendors because it allows them to develop applications. Just recently, open systems and standards took a huge step towards becoming a reality when last month SCO, Olivetti and 19 other major companies announced the ACE initiative, part of which is SCO's own graphical user operating environment, Open Desktop.
So why are the vendors here interested in open systems?
It's because the users are demanding it. Large and small users, from the European Commission to the small businessman. In fact, in the future, if you haven't got an open system solution, you simply won't get on the shopping list.
Mr. Rundell, thank you. Clive.
Well, Windows and multimedia, and as we've seen when it comes along, DVI, will truly exploit the power of these new machines. Of course, we're entering a new era of personal connectivity. Look at how we can talk to each other in many different ways, using a variety of different machines. Well, Mr. Grau, Swiss country manager for Novell. How do you see Novell's role in all this developing?
We all agree that PCs are excellent tools. They make our lives easier. We all agree, too, that PCs in a network are even better tools. Why? By connecting the PCs, we are able to share resources, data, and applications. PC networks allow us cost-efficient office automation, electronic mailing, and communications to other LANs and to mainframes. These solutions are based on a value-adding cooperation like the one between Olivetti and Novell. Novell, with a market share of more than 70%, is the leading supplier of network operating and connectivity software. Novell has certified and tested successfully the new line of Olivetti, the Pro line. I'm happy to confirm that today. And we are sure that by this certification, it is clear that the needs of all our customers will be satisfied.
But Mr. Grau, can you respond to all the needs across all the market?
Good question. The answer is yes. With different network versions based on 286, 386, and 486 PCs, we are able to offer an appropriate solution to small, medium, and even large corporations. By offering the best concerning functionality, performance, reliability, and security. In addition, Novell offers high-quality support by their partners, making it easy to sell networks for all kinds of customers. Good selling, I think, PC Pro means also PC Pro networks. Thank you.
Mr. Bonetti, this networking future has a commercial potential as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. According to DataQuest, 25% of the total professional PCs shipped to the market in 1991 will be connected in local area network. For the user, there is a significant cost benefit because PCs connected in LAN can share expensive peripheral equipment, such as storage devices and printers. From a functional point of view, the PC connected in LAN allow the access to common database and the exchange of information among several workstations, providing, therefore, a solution flexible and reliable for multi-user application. For the dealers, and this is very important, PC connected in LAN means higher value per order because once the customer is sold, he is going to order many units and not just one piece of equipment. And this will increase the sales productivity and the profitability of the sales as well.
Well, now it's time for you to network with us. We've raised a lot of issues this morning, but I'm sure that there are some questions that are yet to be answered. So phone in and ask us. In the studio, we have Arnaldo Bonetti and Ugo Carena. You can see the phone numbers, which are behind me on the screen here. Do put your calls in. I know that we're linked Europe-wide, and I'll just check with our phone network to see if anyone has got on the line. Do we have a call? We are anticipating the arrival of our first few calls. Clive, perhaps you'd like to raise and look at some of the issues that we've been covering this morning that perhaps the dealers would like to put.
Well, Mr. Bonetti, if I can just very briefly put a question to you. This is a major move for Olivetti.
Yes.
It really is quite a major move in the PC corporate networking market. It's a very important mark in your company history, isn't it? Why are you doing it exactly now? In terms of timing, why is it now so important?
Well, it is the right time now because, as we have seen before, the market is confused. The users are confused about what really they buy and about the real value of the money that they spend for buying a PC. So clarity, which means a line of machine that you can compare one with the other in terms of real incremental benefit and consequently real value of the money spent for this incremental value. You can compare the same basic configuration. It could be either the small box or the mini tower and see what is the incremental value adding higher capacity hard disk or higher resolution monitor or higher RAM capacity in a complete linear way. And not just comparing machines that could be bigger, have more slots, with others that have smaller slots, with others that have different kind of monitor or different kind of hard disk and so forth. So I think that this line of machine can provide full coverage of the market, and this is what the dealer needs today, because the market has different and a variety, big variety of needs. And at the same time, minimizing investment, because basically everything is done out of two basic configurations, the small box and the big box, and then the various layers of power provided to each.
Mr.
of
Bonetti,
them.
thank you. Now, we do have a call that has come in from Italy. Perhaps we can hear that call.
Question to Mr. Carena. What are the solutions which have been adopted in order to have so small boards, so small motherboards, also for PCs with high performance?
Well, many approach had been followed in order to reach this result, but of course the most important one is the high level of integration that we extended in every part of the board. The CPU, the chipset surrounding the CPU, the video controller, and the I/O interface. But in addition to this, we marriage completely the SMT surface mounting technology, and this allow us to have really a very, very small board dimension.
And we now have another question which has come direct from London.
Tim?
We've seen how well the PC Pro range has been designed in terms of modularity and completeness to meet the needs of today's customers. Could you tell us how well the PC Pro range compares in pure performance terms to its competitors?
Yes, well, a detailed analysis will be provided to you by our people in the next days. In summary, I will say this. They have the smallest footprint that you can find today on the market for the power that you get. They have a complete range of power that nobody else has today in the market. I think that the 486 SX is the first product introduced in Europe on this range of technology. They have a complete range of hard disk available, covering all the needs, and they have a complete range of color mount. But on top of everything, they open, let me say, a completely new market structure. And this is tied to the fact that in what used to be the PC 386 DX market, a market of more than 1.5 million units per year, we offer at the same price level 486 technology, both 33 MHz and 20 MHz.
So that is our response to London, and our next call is from Barcelona, and it is to...
Ecco, io tento di... Adesso ascolta.
Vai, parla. Spagnolo. Parla.
Mi pregunta e mi preoccupazione. La mia domanda, il mio problema è tutta la gamma che presentate ha delle bellissime caratteristiche. Possiamo fare delle belle cose. Siamo preparati per sostenere questo prodotto dal punto di vista del servizio e a che costo?
Auf bitte. There was the question, we have seen a very beautiful line here, and in terms of modularity, can you give me some idea concerning the cost of support, training and service?
Well, I will answer to the first part of the question, and then I leave to Mr. Carina to explain some of the technical details. I was saying before to minimize the dealer investment. Basically, all the machines have many common things in common, which means that the training needed in order to service this machine and the knowledge needed in order to service them is basically the same for each of them. So you can cover a full range of product basically with the knowledge required by one machine only. So the cost of service for this machine is not higher than the cost of service that you had up to now for the 290S or for a PC Pro 386 SX, which I suppose is already in your hands. And thank you, by the way, for the beautiful line that you said before.
I can add to this point only a few things related to the technical approach of the various motherboard, the 6 different type of motherboard that we realize for this product line. Many components are exactly the same. For instance, the chipset is the same for all the product line. The video controller are belonging to 2 different families, and the I/O interface is the same. This is one point, but the second point that I would like to underline is related to modularity. Modularity means also an easy approach to the service, an easy approach that is one of the main goals that is followed in order to have your life a little bit easier.
Mr. Bonetti, we now come to you with our next question, which is from Italy.
Yes.
Mr. Bonetti, from which price range are the basic models starting, and to what extent they are finishing in the 486?
Well, in the next weeks, our representative will explain in detail the pricing policy supporting this line country by country. I can just give you an order of magnitude. We start from approximately 4 million lire for a PC Pro SX 16 MHz up to 10 million lire for a PC Pro 486 33 MHz machine. And below that, there is the 486 SX and a DX 33 MHz machine. This for a monochrome version and up to 120 megabyte hard disk. Then, of course, you have the additional cost for a color monitor, depending upon the one that you choose, and higher capacity hard disk.
Mr. Carena, our next question is for you.
Question still from Italy. How many layers do you use for the construction of the motherboard, and why did you use plastic for the box?
Okay. For the first question, we have to divide our product line in 2 parts. The product ranging from 286 up to 386 SX 20 MHz use a 4-layer motherboard, while the other products of the top of the line have a 6-layer motherboard. Regarding to the plastic that we decided to use for this new line was a new approach that we follow, and was in conflict or was in the different direction compared to what is done by most of the other people in this field. The reason of this innovative solution is related to 2 main features. First of all, to allow a design and a cosmetic design of the product that can fit the office in a coherent way as all the other product that Olivetti is doing in the other product line. And the second point is to improve the ergonomic point of the product. In fact, with the plastic solution was very easy to realize the door on the side of the small and big box in order to access all the upgradable part of the product, board, memory, coprocessor, and the setting operation.
Mr. Carena, thank you. And now we come back to you, Mr. Bonetti. Our next question is from Italy.
Yes.
Mr. Bonetti, you talked about very good prices, but first, are the margins, do you see that the margins will be still enough and good for the dealers? And the other question is that product line only for Olivetti office?
The margin are the standard term and condition that we offer for our professional line. So, if you are afraid that the margin will that of the PCS, this is not the case. We will make on these prices the same term and condition that you have enjoyed up to now for the professional PC products. The line is reserved to the Olivetti office dealers. And as Mr. Cassoni said, our competitors are the others that are stealing from us a market that belongs to us. This is the whole purpose of the strategy and of the product line that we have designed, to regain to us this market.
Mr. Bonetti, thank you very much. And our next question is to you as well.
Yes.
Mr. Bonetti, how many market share do you think to gain in Europe?
Our target is to gain 10% of the market share of what it has been up to now, the 386 DX and 486 together, but I repeat, we attacked this market with mainly 486 based machine in the last 4 months of this year. According to the same target that we had for the PCS, we gained 8% of the market in the first 6 months of the introduction of the product, and for the PC portable.
Thank you very much. Mr. Carena, we're now coming to you.
What are the more precise reasons which have pushed you to make such an extremely modular line?
Well, the reason is not just related to the improvement that we can get in production of this line. If you have a low number of modules to assemble together, of course you can benefit in cost of manufacturing. But the main reason was related to the customer satisfaction. I mentioned before ergonomic reason. Now I can add that you can reduce the number of spare parts that you have to save. You can move pieces of equipment from the small box to the big box, and you can train easily your service for the same solution that we are using on the board, on the power supply, and on the keyboard, of course.
And now, Mr. Bonetti, we're coming to you again from Italy, this question.
Mr. Bonetti, do you see that there are particular markets or particular clients, perhaps large clients, which are particularly fitting into the strategy of the PC Pro line?
Yes, well, let me say, all the clients are suitable for one model or the other of this line, the large account, the medium account, and the small account. Let me answer to this specific question. How would you address all these models to the marketplace? Let me start from the bottom. PC Pro 290 SP, entry-level workstation. PC Pro SX16 and SX20, typical Windows workstation. Windows today is the great fashion, is the product on spot. More than 3 million units already sold. The PC Pro SX16 and 20 are the right product to fit this demand for an easier user interface, which has to be a graphic interface. In addition to this, the PC Pro SX20 could be also the right mini for a small multi-user configuration, mainly for administrative environment. The PC Pro DX33 is the typical network server for networking environment, as well as a powerful standalone workstation. The PC Pro 486 SX is the medium power technical workstation, either in standalone configuration or in network configuration. The PC Pro 486 33 MHz machine is the full power technical workstation for heavy mathematical or financial or graphic environment.
We have time for just one more question. It is our last question, and it is coming finally to you, Mr. Bonetti.
Mr. Cassoni has spoken of the others, that the others are the market which belongs to Olivetti, or more precisely to Olivetti office. Have you some particular competitors or market segments in mind you want to attack?
Well, one of the other is tandem. I think that we have the right weapon to attack the tandem channel, which is also a weak channel. And also the company is weak in this moment. Then there are other so-called local champions in the various countries of Europe that can be attacked very easily or other to be stopped, such as AST and so forth. And there are the non-branded, the Taiwanese products, you know, that are trying to enter into the market, mainly playing on low prices. We have the right line of product and we have the right prices to stop, I think, most of them and regain the market share that they have stolen to us. Well, I take this occasion, since this is the last question, to say a warm hello and a warm regard to all the dealers that are watching us in this moment. My heart is in this moment with the dealers in Italy, that I had to talk to them in English. I know that many of them, and very good, speaks also the same dialect that I speak, and I had to talk to them in the English language. I want to regard all the dealers in Spain that had the chance to see in October of last year when we introduced the PCS 386 SX. I want to regard all the dealers in France, in Germany, and the UK that I had the chance to meet in several occasions, and I know that I will meet them in the near future, trying to explain the strategy that we have put in place and relying on all of them for gaining significant market share, as we did already with the PCS. We want to repeat that successful story. Thank you very much for all of you, and good luck.
Mr. Bonetti, thank you very much, and Mr. Carena, thank you very much. And indeed, we do now have to close. Although I would like to remind Italy that the lines are opening again specially just for Italy at 11:45. So don't go away, because we're going to be here for more questions then. I know that many of you are still trying to get through, but don't forget, as Mr. Cassoni said earlier, this should be the first of many live broadcasts, so there should be more opportunities at another time, where we can link Olivetti office Europe-wide. Now, it's exciting, it's immediate, and it's your chance to be heard. I hope that you've enjoyed this morning. I know that we all have very much. From all of us here, arrivederci, and as Mr. Bonotti said, good sales. Bye-bye.